Hello, I'm old Mr. Kent on my morning e-trike ride. I'm 82 years old, and I do this every day, almost every day, go for a trike ride. And so today I thought I would talk a little more about the jobs I had when I was in college. And in the last video I talked about working for the janitor, and that was okay. I didn't work for him every day, so I thought, well, I'll tell you the stories about. There's more. Hope I can get it fit into this one video. Okay, I got sidetracked because I got some signs up here. They're working on this road, and of course, there's my friends, the dogs. They're burying fiber optic cable along this road. Okay, so I worked when I came back from summer vacation, and my folks had disowned me, and I had my motorcycle, and I had to find some jobs. So I found I got a job working for the food service, and you only had to work one shift a day, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and then you got to eat all the meals. So that's how I got my meals, and that was a pretty good deal. And so I applied, and I got the job, and of course I was a beginner, and so they gave me this job in the evening meal of I had this sink, big stainless steel sink full of cold water, and they would bring they had these vertical roller carts that you put your tray into, and then when you're finished eating, then they'd roll that back and they'd pull the trays out, and then they would sort out the silverware went into my sink, and then the plates went on down and got sorted out, and so forth. And so that was my job, and I had to roll up my sleeves because it was so deep, and then I would reach in, grab some silverware, and here's part of their business that they're working on. And so go around the corner here, got to make sure I'm okay. And so I would grab nice forks and spoons, and then put them into a stainless steel cup thing that went into a stainless steel rack, and then that rack would run through the big old dishwasher that they had. And so that was my job. And then to the right of me there was an area where they would take all the plates off of a tray, and then so that's where they put the plates. And then when I had to shove a tray full of silverware down, well, then it went down there, and they just push it on through. And so and then the next person over, I remember I made friends with this guy. We stayed in the dorm together that first year, and not together in the same room, but got to know each other. His name was Bill Paulson. He was a super nice guy, but he was a little bit on the weird side. That's why we got along so well. Anyway, so on Saturday nights, the food service always served steak. It wasn't a great big hunk of steak, but it was real honest to goodness steak. And so Bill Paulson was the guy who scraped all the food off the plates, dumped it down the disposal. And it was, a big disposal and all stainless steel. And so, but every once in a while, he'd find a Saturday night dish that had hardly been touched. And so he'd grab that steak, take a big bite out of it, and put it down there. So he not only got his steak dinner before he went to the dish room, but then he'd go to the dish room and he'd have several more helpings of steak. And everybody thought he was crazy, but he lived. And then, oh, I'll tell you another thing about him. I had a guitar. Remember, I came back from school, from summer school, with a guitar because I bought a guitar, and my folks were at me for that. And I had a guitar and a motorcycle. Well, what else could a guy want? So I had also a ukulele, a baritone uke, which is mid-size, that somebody had given me because they liked the way I played. And so I had that, plus my guitar, plus the little ukulele. And so he wanted to know if he could borrow my mid-sized ukulele and take it with him over the summer up to Alaska and learn how to play it, because I had given him a couple lessons. So yeah, so I let him take it. And so when he came back, this is off of the track, but when he came back, I greeted him. We were talking and everything. I said, "Where's my ukulele?" And he says, "Oh, your ukulele. It's leaning against the wall up in Alaska." So I lost a really nice ukulele. Anyway, so that was he did. And then there was a guy to the right of him who would take everything and make sure it was ready to go and put it in the machine. And it would go through the machine and get washed, and it would come out at 180 degrees. And then there was a guy down there who would take the plates and put them in a rack where they belonged, so that big plates were all here, and then the cooks would pull them off of that when they were, or whoever was dishing out the food that day. So anyway, that's how the dish room worked. Well, I worked there that first quarter. It was miserable, and I mean I was miserable because I was trying to make a go of things after everything had gone crash boom, and so it was not a very encouraging work, but I got it done. And then at the end of that quarter, I got to move up a ways and work further down the line, and just taking the food off of the plates and then putting them in the racks and stuff like that. And so that was the second quarter. Third quarter, there was this. Oh, by the way, everybody come to eat at dinner time. Very few people got up in the morning and came to work or came to the commons to eat, because who wants to get up early? And so I figured that out, and I said, is it possible for me to switch to morning instead of evening? And I don't know how it all happened, but I did. They switched me up to morning. That was nice because you still did all the same stuff, but you didn't have so much to do. And so I got back there in the morning, and we were having so much fun doing everything, and I started singing, whatever the songs I sang with my guitar, and back then the folk songs and stuff. And then we'd get all the guys singing in the morning. You could hear us out in the cafeteria. We'd be singing in there, and we were just having fun washing dishes. The only thing is there was this one poor kid. Those dishes come out at 180 degrees, and he dropped the whole stack of plates because they're heavy, and it was burning his fingers. And so after that happened a couple of times, I knew how hot they were because I guess I'd have helped or something. Anyway, and I knew I could probably do it because hot things never have bothered me like they do other people. I could put my hands under hot water, and everybody else wouldn't be able to do that. So I said, I'll do that. So that was an advancement because I got to work with clean dishes from then on every time I worked in the dish room, because I was the only guy, actually not the only guy, but I was the only guy who was willing to handle all those hot dishes, and I never broke a single one. So that was my job. That was my job of working in the dish room. So now I went to summer school, And so at the end of that first year, I can't remember how it went, but anyway, they liked how I was doing things, and they offered me the job of head waiter. Now, head waiter, it was like you stood out there in the cafeteria, and anytime somebody needed something, you'd help them with it. And so, and you stood there with your, like this, with a towel wrapped over your forearm. You know how waiters look. And they had a condiment table that they rolled out. And of course, if something on the condiment table got low, then I would go back into the kitchen and bring out a fresh dish of it, whatever it was. And also they had milk machines that they had the milk machine. You open up the front, and there was like a 3-gallon cardboard box with a plastic liner on the inside, and it had a little nipple that came out. And so, well, those would get empty, and so then you'd pull out the old one, and, well, first of all, you go get a clean one, a new one, and you'd pull it out. I think we pulled it out on a cart because it was pretty heavy for some of the kids. And then we'd take out the old one, we'd set the new one up in there upside down so the tube was on the bottom, and feed the tube through the on-off valve. And then once we got it in there, then we'd clip off the end, and it was ready to go. And we'd take the old box back into the kitchen. So that kind of broke the boredom of just standing there all the time. And so that was part of the job. Okay, so, and all you did was, if something got spilled, you cleaned it up. And a lot of times around the condiment table, you needed to go around every once in a while with your little towel and wipe everything up. And it got to be, I think I put this picture up before. This is the room that I lived in. It was second floor over a sun porch. It was a sun porch, and I got it for $18 a month. And one Saturday, I came home from washing dishes and breakfast and all that, and I didn't have anything pressing, so I got in the corner of the room and I sketched what it looked like to send it to my parents, because I knew they'd like to see what it was like. And, oh, by the way, over on, I'll put an arrow to it, there's the mirror that I got working for the janitor. And so, anyway, and so that got, you come around on Saturday morning and you didn't have anything else to do. And so, sitting in that room was kind of boring. And so what I did was I kind of made the cafeteria my home away from home, because for one thing, the cooks, they thought I was a pretty neat guy, I guess. They treated me like I was their grandson, and it looks like I got a new dog friend here. Hi, fella, how you doing? And so I was always teasing them. I mean, I teased them all the time. And like this one, I told them, I said, heat doesn't bother me, because that's what I was doing in the dish room. But what I would do is in the wintertime, I came out, or on cold mornings, I would come up there before I went to work in the dish room, and I'd come up there and stand by one of those stoves to get warm. And so one day, this cook, she says, "All right, I don't believe you." And here comes a truck that I might know about. I think it is. This is my son driving a truck he's been working on.
Hello, Mr. Kent.
Huh?
Hello, Mr. Kent. Hello, Mr. Kent.
Oh, hello, Mr. Kent. Got it. This is my son. I'm making a video and he's screwing it all up. You're going to be on YouTube.
See you later.
See you later. Love ya.
Love ya.
That's a 1956 Chevrolet pickup that he's working on for a friend of his. And, of course, he's making money doing that. But I can't hear anything because my hearing aids are turned down while I ride, because the wind hits them, you know, and then it deafens me. So I turn them down. All right. So anyway, so the cooks, you know, I would go up there and I would be friends with them and tease them, and then I even helped them. I see. Yep. I helped them with the pots and pans sometimes. I'd wash. That's where I learned this one cook. I was washing pots and pans. I think I'm going to turn around before I get out into the traffic here. And I'll go back to the traffic and finish my ride because I go further up the road here. Anyway, so where was I? Now I can't remember where. Oh yeah, I'm washing pots and pans, and of course they were wet, but I was holding it up out of the water, and I never will forget. This one cook comes up to me and she says, "Son, we don't dry clean the pots and pans." So I, you know, stuck it down inside there. But I hung out with the cooks a lot, and then also there were other jobs that I got to work on. I got $1 an hour working on. One thing when they would have some special thing somewhere else on campus, they would haul coffee and all the condiments and stuff that go with it, and they had these great big stainless steel coffee containers with about a 6-inch diameter opening at the top, and then they had the little spigots down below to fill coffee cups with. And so I was cleaning those out one day, and you know, first of all they put boiling hot water in there in order to warm it up, and they let it sit there, and then after 5 minutes or so, they dump that out, and then they put the coffee in, and then they put the lid on, and then they would put it on a cart and take it across campus. Well, so I was scrubbing out the inside, and then I got up to the top, and I was scrubbing around the top, and the little rubber insulator around the top underneath the little lip, insulator rolled up on its edge, and out crawled it was a long black worm pointed on both ends that lived up there and subsided, or what are you going to call it? He maintained his life with the hot coffee that ran around the edge of that and stuff like that. And I couldn't believe it. There's a verse in the Bible that says, "Where the fire is not quenched and the worm dieth not." That kind of made sense to me, because that worm could stand a lot of heat. So anyway, let's see, I can't think of anything else about working in the cafeteria. Oh. At the end of the summer, when I was, privileged to work in the cafeteria and as a head waiter, at the end of the summer they said, "You did a good job. You want to keep doing that?" I says, "Nope. I want to go back in morning dish room and unload the machine." And of course, I'd been there long enough and knew people, and they loved me and I loved them, and so I got that job. And that's what I did the rest of my time. And then even when I went back to summer school, after I was married, my wife stayed home and I was going to summer school, I worked at the food service and did the same thing. And that's how I got my meals in summer school. Well, okay, I don't know. This is probably going to be a long video, and I hope it's not too boring. Sorry about all the dogs and all. But anyway, that was probably my favorite job. The cafeteria was my home away from home, and I enjoyed working there. I loved the people. Oh, I've got to tell you another story. I'm sorry. At Christmas time, they had a special dinner for the cooks. And they asked me and my band. I had a good friend named Dan Gullickson, and he plays the guitar, and I had a guitar. I don't think I had my banjo yet. And so they wanted us to entertain the cooks with music. It's some after the dinner, before the dinner or something. Anyway, so I had written a couple of songs, and I don't remember where they are now. I lost a lot of stuff along the way. But you might remember a song called Old John, Big Bad John. And I wrote a song called let's see, what was it? Anyway, Old Sam of Bellingham, because it was in Bellingham, Washington. Okay, that's enough. I had so much fun in college once I got used to it and got settled in. But that first job I had when I came back from California, that just almost made me feel like quitting. All right, I want to thank you for watching my video, and God bless.